Hello to all you Alien fans out there. I'm going to talk about a game called Aliens: Another Glorious Day in the Corp, which is obviously based on the second film of the franchise. Now, this is a must game if you're into Aliens, and this particular game is a co-op game, which means you can also play a single game on your own if your friends aren't available. And obviously, you play the grunts and the humans. Ripley, etc., against the aliens, and the idea is obviously to escape with Newt if you can off LV-426. Well, I've bought all the kind of extras to this, and obviously I've also bought some scenery items which I'll go into a bit later. I'll go through briefly what the game is about. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll let you do that. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I'll just go through the characters involved, the type of missions you get, and the kind of cards you get as well. The characters you get is basically everything from the film. You know, you get Burke, Gorman, Hicks, Dietrich, Hudson, Crow, Ripley herself, Apone, Frost, Newt, Drake, Bishop, Vasquez. You basically get the whole lot. And in the expansion packs, you also get Pharaoh and Spunkmeyer. Depending on how many players you've got or friends you've got playing with you, so if you've got two of you, you could have two characters, and then those characters can also kind of be in charge of other grunts. So you'll notice that all of these characters, you got Gorman, for instance, has a stats speed 4, defense 4, melee 2, and then he'll have some special rules. If you're not playing him as a character, he can be what you call a grunt. As you see, all the special characters have gone, and some of his stats got lower. Now, this kind of balances out the game a bit. You don't want everybody being fantastic, otherwise it'd be too easy. So, yeah, you get two sides for every character. Again, same with Dietrich. Got special rules, good stats, and then you can play her as a grunt. And this kind of in the rulebook, it tells you how many grunts per game and per player, and therefore that kind of also tells you how many aliens kind of roughly will be in the game too. Now with these characters, you can equip them, or most of them, and I'll go into that a bit further down the line. Now, as it's all based on the Aliens film, obviously it's all kind of going to be mission based on events that happened in the film. So on this occasion, this is where you try and find Newt. Each mission has a mission card which will show you the map, where to place items, what the key of the items are, and on the back, what your mission goal is, what you need to do, and special rules for, like in this case, computer token, and what you do with Newt if you find her, and basically what happens if you win or lose. So in mission 1, it tells you that your players will start in the blue box there, and these are 4 special blips. 3 of them will be hiding aliens in there, and 1 of them will be Newt. So you randomly put them on there, not knowing which one Newt is. So for the models of the games, these come unpainted, but obviously I've painted these myself. Now you get in the basic set, Another Glorious Day in the Corps, you get a few troops, Ripley and obviously Newt. But in other scenarios, you can get Bishop, and this is in the expansion packs, which are Ultimate Badasses, etc. You get like Bishop and Burke as well. So basically, yeah, you got Newt there, Burke, Spunkmeyer, Ripley, Frost, Gorman, Hicks, Dietrich, Apone, Drake with his smart gun, Vasquez with a smart gun, Wasbaski, and then Hicks. I said Hicks twice there. I meant Hudson on this one. Hudson's got his little tracker out, as you can see just there. Now again, all these models are extremely detailed. They are plastic. I looked online for reference for colours, etc. And if you know the film, you know, yeah, plenty of downloads there of how to paint them. And there's Newt. They all have their own special rules, as I said earlier. And some are allowed certain weapons and some aren't. There's Burke. His crossed arms. And in this case, when you get Ripley, in the basic set you get Ripley with her jeans on. In other box sets you get the loader, which are, I've got one here. This is not the one from the game, this is one I've done for Alien vs Predator, I think, game. I've forgotten, one of his arms came off while I was filming. But I've done this model, and then I put some plastic pipes on myself using some electric wire to make it a bit more authentic. On the board where it tells you to start the game off, and obviously you know that you've got to go towards this section to find Newt. Now you've all got to do this within a certain amount of turns, which is on this turn dial here, which just spins around for each turn, after each turn, and then until the limits of what you're allowed to be. Maybe 6 turns on this one, I don't know. Map, you'll see some blips, which is basically for the motion tracker. So basically you know there's going to be 2 aliens in there. There's going to be aliens within here, and one of them's going to be Newt. And it's up to you to find out which one she's in and then rush her back. Now with the Newt character, it's clever, very clever. What they've done is that Newt will automatically run away from the soldiers because she's scared, unless Ripley is in the area. She can try and coax her to become part of the team, and then she'll run back with you. But yeah, that takes some time to do that as well. Depends how lucky you are. Before you start the actual mission itself, you can equip your characters, whoever ones you've picked for the game, and on their card you can see they've got a slot for weapons or backup weapons on the other side, and equipment. And now these are limited to 4 cards or 4 equipment cards. So for Vasquez, she gets extra bonuses for having a smart gun, as per the film. So I've put her with a smart gun. You can put her with body armor and an arc welder for barricading doors. I could have chosen a helmet or put a, just simple things like that. Makes it more a various game, and you put on different characters. For Frost, you could put a flamethrower on, like in the film. Hicks can have the shotgun. So yeah, it's really, really, truly linked to the film. Now during the game, you do draw event cards, and if you pick up equipment cards, you can swap them over for ones that you already got in your hand. It takes actions to do that, but again, it's up to you if you want to rush in, rush out, which is probably how I recommend. You can swap things around a bit, so you're not stuck with these all game if you don't want to be. As with most games, there's always a turn sequence, and it's no different in this game. You have the Marine phase, which is the reset your aim dial, which I'll explain in a minute. Resolve all on activation abilities, which is on the character card. Equip endurance cards, and perform up to 2 actions. And this could be move, attack, barricade, aim, interact, card action, or reset. Now aim is basically you can add an extra, it makes it easier to shoot an alien if you see one. And then you have step 5, resolve all end of activation abilities, because in characters they have like passive or on activation type cards, which you have to do at the start of each turn of their turn of your character. So bear that in mind. And after all of the Marines have had their go, and it's in a turn sequence, you can do whatever you like. You get the alien phase, and that's activate the aliens, activate blips, and then draw motion tracker cards, which is like an event card for aliens. And then the finish phase, resolve any finished phase effects, check for victory or defeat, and then clean up. And we'll talk about those in a minute. Now this game is quite resource fed, and you've got to manage your resources as you would in the film. You notice they got short of ammo and stuff like that. So this is exactly the same in the game, where you've got a resource pile there, which have events in and equipment cards, and the more you use of those, the worse it gets. Obviously, you want to keep as many resources as you can, because this can follow on into the next mission. And if you lose all your resources, you've lost. Now, going back to the Marines phase, I said about the reset your aim dial. Each character has an aim. Now, this one's 8 for Vasquez, which is good. If you're using her as a character, it's 8, but if you use her as a grunt, it's only 6. Now, this does make a big difference. This is why it's important to who you choose as a character in the start of the game, because as a non-player character, her stats aren't as good. Okay, we've got her as the main character, one of the main characters, and she's got a smart gun. Now, smart guns are easier to use or easier to shoot, because obviously they're smart, but they do take more resources. You have to lose 3 resource cards to use them, although because Vasquez is a master at it, she only needs to exhaust 2 cards. Now, because it's a smart gun, you get 2 chances of hitting targets as opposed to the normal 1 with most of the guns. And she's got a good aim of 8. So you'd throw 2 dice, because as a smart gun, you throw 2 dice instead of the 1. Now, let's say she threw a 10, which is a miss, and a 4, which is a hit, because she's thrown 8 or under to actually hit. Now, she's thrown a 10 and a 4, so she's missed on the first, but hit on the second, so you would take an alien off. Now, because she's had a shot, you would reduce that to 7. Now, as you say, Marines have another chance of firing again. So, but this time, because she's already fired, she's now going to get under 7 or under. So let's say you throw again. She's the second action. She throws, let's say, an 8, which would have been a hit on the first time, and she throws a 6. Let's say again, that's another hit, but a miss on that one, because now she needs a 7 and not an 8. And then after that, you'd move it down to 6. So hers is getting now down to 6. So next time she has a fire, she has to go down to 6, assuming she has another chance. Now, some event cards allow you to do that, or reaction cards sometimes let you do that. But again, as you can see, the more you fire, the less it goes down, and which is harder to hit. And like obviously, she's using resource cards every single time as well. As the team are going to look for Newt, you can see that she can move 4, speed 4, so she can move 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's just say she was in front of the door. That door will automatically open unless it's barricaded. So that door is open, which means the line of sight is all the way down that corridor now. So if there was any aliens there, they would see her, she would see them, and they could fire, and they could chase her. So doors are automatically open if you're adjacent to them. So if Vasquez moves to that square there, for instance, that door would automatically open. You would turn over that blip because it's now a line of sight, and you'd put 2 aliens on the board. For the alien models, these are again cool, all unpainted. You can put them into different, because they've got separate arms and tails and that, you can put them into different kind of poses, which is really good, really randomizes it. I noted that some people have actually put, the tails can be a bit fiddly, sometimes a bit painful. So you can actually magnetize these, because these are all separate. You can actually magnetize them and put them in. I've glued mine, so if they do snap off, they will snap off, like they have on this guy here. But to be honest, when you've got them all piled up, it's not too bad. Now, because on that instance, I mean, looking at these aliens, there's a fair few here, but I can guarantee you when you're playing the game, that is not enough aliens. And to help with this, what the game has done, they've given you these kind of alien tokens as well. So in this case, because that was 2 aliens pulled out, you put 1 alien as a token, and then you put an alien model on top. And then you would place him where he was found, which was over here. So she can actually see 2 aliens there, but represented by 1 token and 1 alien. Now she could either fire, run, or whatever. In the Marine goes, everybody can take event cards, and there's a couple of samples here. Now, they've all got lines from the film, as you can see. And in this case is an event. Each character may move up to 2 spaces. Marine characters that move may draw an endurance card. Now, I won't go into all this detail, but basically you can get some bonuses. You can get equipment, like the grenades there, and some of them like hazards, where in this case Burke's Treachery. Reveal a card, which is basically looking at these parts for this reference here, and it will tell you, like in this case, is a horrible, discard 6 cards, then discard this card. So again, your resources go down, and you certainly run out if you're not careful. Now, I'm not going into great detail on all of this. There's a lot more detail for the characters and the Marines and what they can do, but as I say, this is only a brief one. But for the aliens, all aliens move 6 as the start of their move, so we activate the aliens that are on the board. There's 2 types of alien. There's the aliens that can be seen, and then there's the blips that have not been revealed yet. So you do these in actions. The first of all is activate the aliens. So the first one is, let's say this alien's on board. All aliens move 6 spaces. So they always move towards the nearest character. Again, because obviously no one's playing the aliens, it's all done automatically by yourself. So you basically move them 6 to the closest character, in this case it's Vasquez. So I'd move there and stop because they're adjacent to her and next to her, which means they can now attack. And then you would resolve combat. Now, there are things like defensive attacks where Vasquez will have a chance to shoot at the aliens before they actually attack her. But again, remember her dial was down to 6, so it could get worse. So after that, you resolve all of that. You go on to activate blips. Now, blips are the kind of aliens. These ones are special ones, they don't get moved, but these ones are here. And these are aliens that haven't been revealed yet. So for the blip movement, you do it per board. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 boards. These are special blips, so they don't move, they stay where they are. But you can tell that by the whiter rim, where the standard blips are the ones with the darker rim. So you pick a board and then you throw a d6. Now, whatever the result is, that's how far they move. And again, it's the same thing. They'll move to the characters the quickest way to get there. So if they throw 1 or 2, you can move 1, 2 through the doors. And they all move the same for that particular board. So it could be 2 on that one. If you had blips in here, you threw a 4, you'd be moving them 4. All based on whatever board the dice roll on for each board. Again, if they come in line of sight, they'd automatically turn into aliens, because if you can see them, and then you start using the alien rules, which again, they would move 6 and attack accordingly. Okay, I'm not going to go into details of all the attacks and defense, etc., because I'll leave that for you, so you're surprised when you buy the game and play it. But you can knock down characters with the aliens, which means that they can't move. If they're captured, that means that the aliens have dragged them off before you could rescue them, or you can actually, if you're unlucky, you can actually get killed as well. So, as in the film, most of them do get killed. So, yeah, it's true to form there, and don't expect to have all characters live, because it is a difficult game. Apart from the main missions from the game, there are some side missions you can do, which are like bug hunts, which is basically going around shooting aliens. Or there's a rescue mission. So if you have had characters that have been captured and dragged off, you can do rescue missions to go and get them back. Again, you've got to balance up what resources you're going to use and the risk of other players being killed, but there is that option. You can also do kind of supply missions. So if your resources are low, you can try and look for resources as well. Now, in most of these games, one thing I forgot to mention, these items within the alien turn, which I'll go back to, you get blips. You have to turn activation cards based on how many players are in the game. So the more players are, the more cards you turn over. And this basically tells you how many aliens are going to come on and where they're going to come on the board. So in this case, let's say, trying to find a couple there that's not from the expansion set. So this one here, it's asking that one alien is going to turn up on point 1, which is just there. So you would put a blip there. Now, because I have characters already here, line of sight is automatically so that it automatically turn up and go into an alien straight away. And then the rules would be for the alien. But that starts on the next phase. And that's how you get to loads of aliens board. That's because it's random of where these turn up. In this case, like it is point 1. There's another one there for 2. So they could turn up anywhere on the board within those 4 sectors. So you can, as on this mission, the first one, you've got to get through the exit. You've got to capture Newt and take it back to the exit. You certainly get them piling on from here and here. You really want to kind of barricade doors before they can get out. Now, aliens can get through a barricaded door, but it does take them time to do that. So, yeah, you've got, you can put Hudson towards the control panel here, and you can actually barricade doors from there if successful. Yeah, so there's lots, or you can actually do arc welding, which is the same thing as well as barricading doors. Now, as true to the film, you can set up some remote sentries. The big cannon type guns they keep in the corridor to keep the aliens away. And this is done in the game with tokens. So you got the token for, this is sentry gun B. As you remember in the film, there's A and B, and then you obviously get A as well. And you get the same type of dial as you would do for firing a normal weapon. So as soon as they fired, the dial goes down, and when obviously it gets to the end, they've run out of bullets and you can't rearm them. So stick them in places that you think are going to be really useful, and yeah, don't they will run out of bullets, so just be careful on that. So true to the film, you can barricade them, as I said earlier, and this is represented by a little token there. You can put barricaded across the door, like that. So it's been barricaded, which means it's the alien. It's more difficult for the alien to get through. They have to throw a dice. I think it's 4. They need to get on a D6 to break the door down. So it does stop them. They can't walk straight into it. They have to stop there for the turn and do that as an action before running through. So it is worth barricading doors as well. So as you can see, it's very, very true to the film. The missions go in the order as the film does. The tiles I will go into too. They are double-sided. So in this case, you've got part of the scenery is from the start of the ship, but then if you turn over that, you've got the actual hive, which I won't go into. But basically, yeah, you get hive tiles as well. And that's obviously scary to get down there. Now in the basic set, or basic game, you get the actual tiles, and you get the little barricade tokens, etc. But I went the extra distance because it's one of my favourite films of all time, and I've always wanted to play this game. So I went out and bought a lot of extra kind of scenery to help enhance the experience. Now, the basic game on its own is definitely still worth it. I can't recommend it enough. I really enjoyed it. My friends have really enjoyed it, particularly the Aliens fans. Some of them haven't been Aliens fans, but they still love the game. But you can buy accessories, and this is what I've done. And the reason is because it just brings a bit more detail to it, a bit more. I don't know, you feel more claustrophobic within it, and you realise how narrow these corridors or areas or spaces they're walking through. and encountering aliens at the same time. People have actually probably built these the actual tiles by scratch and have proper corridors, but I found that these are quite adequate. So you've got the doors, you can take the doors away, and you've got that line of sight all the way down. You can see Vasquez there, and as she moves up, you can put boxes down, barrels, and it's easy to notice that these are open. The doors are open as opposed to closed. So I found that a lot easier. Form, if you've got a door that you've barricaded, I'll take that one away, and then I would put a barricaded door in its place, and that's represented by lots of boxes and that put against it there, as you can see. And you can do that for all different sizes. So I've got the big thick doors there. For the wider ones, again, you can put barricades there, and they're barricaded on both sides. Very good. And it just brings that authenticity about it. It just makes it more real. So here's the lab, for instance. Now, unfortunately, I put water in mine as opposed to resin, so a lot of them drained out by mistake. So if you do go this route, put resin in and not water, coloured water. But you can see the face huggers in there, and you can see how claustrophobic it is. You put a soldier in there, a marine. How claustrophobic does that look now compared to it when there's no accessories on there? I found this much easier. Obviously the doors will be open because if he's next to the door would be open. And then you've got the offices to go with it, the computers. It just brings that reality in and how claustrophobic it feels within these guys fighting within these areas. As I said, the boards are reversible, and on the opposites, on the other side of the boards, you have the kind of the hive of where the aliens are established, and then you can, like, for instance, on this occasion, one of the missions is you've got to escape them and bring them back to the APV carrier, which is there. I have a model for that as well. Expansion packs, you get extra missions, obviously, and then you bring into play things like the Alien Queen and the Loader, and this is when you get back onto the Sulaco after you've escaped the LV-426. And again, I mean, there are a few other maps here that they use. I've actually again brought some extras, which is the table for the canteen, where he does the old knife trick, if you remember. The changing locker rooms, where Hurston asks Vasquez if she's a man. And then you got the sleep chambers as well, the cryo chambers, whatever you want to call them. Again, all painted myself. They have to be painted all from the same company that I got the doors and that from. Again, you can put the doors that you've already purchased on there if you do go for the purchase of the doors. Again, it makes it more realistic, more down to earth. And again, it shows that claustrophobia of moving your characters through kind of little corridors and pathways. To sum it up, I would say it's an amazing game if you're into the Aliens film. If you want a co-op game with friends as opposed to playing against them, again, it's good to make some decisions between yourselves as opposed to fighting each other. There's lots of extra equipment you can get from different companies to help with the kind of realistic. If you're into models and painting, then you've got all of that to do if you want. I've built some remote sentries, some face huggers. There are kind of alien eggs you can get. I can put a link in if you want to know where I got these from. I'll try and find out where it was. It was some time ago, but I'm sure they'll still be doing it. If you enjoyed the film, you will enjoy the game if you're into gaming. Plenty of variety because you've got so many characters to choose from, and they all have their own different stats. Some you can actually plow through quite easy if you're lucky with the dice. Other times you feel overwhelmed and you'll get absolutely slaughtered by the aliens. So it's not an easy win, but in true fashion, you know, the film, most of them, or 95% of them died. Only 2 or 3 of them actually survived it all. Yeah, I think it's a game you'll really enjoy, with the accessories or without. It's definitely worth giving it a go. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you've actually learned something. It's a bit here and there with me, because I really didn't sit down and do a map of how I was going to do this video, but I hope you've enjoyed it. If anybody is interested on how I painted these figures, then obviously let me know in the comments, and I will do a video of how I did them. It's not really fresh in my mind, but I'm sure I'll know what colours and that I used. Again, as you can see, most of these characters have, or all of the characters have their name on the base, so you know exactly who's who. All one piece. Vasquez. And for all of those that want to go into even more detail of the game, if you want to, there's definitely no need to, but if you do, within the expansion kits, you also can upgrade characters based on experience. The more they kill and more missions they do, they can get experience points, and then you can get cards in different levels to increase their kind of characteristics and stats. That's kind of puts a more of a kind of a role-playing feel to it. So if you can get attached to a character, the more they go up. So yeah, if you're into that type of thing, then that also is an extra. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I can honestly say I've enjoyed the game that I've played. I've played the missions several times, and they all have their different outcomes and different results, and some lucky, some unlucky. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon. If you have any questions, please let me know and put them in the comments, and please hit that like button. Thanks for watching.